I am CCP Dopamine,
Also,
and
you have a
here with
terrible
me
location,
is
dopamine.
your one and
You're
only
right where my
CCP
chat is.
Swift. Swift, how are you doing tonight? It's an exciting night for us.
I am buzzing. I've been like buzzing about this all
Oh, and
weekend.
Swift isn't
Just
loud
looking at the
enough.
results, looking at the presentation. The
CCP,
CSM is one of those
get your shit
institutions that's near
together.
and dear to my heart. So I'm really excited to usher in the 16th term of CSM of the CSM rather. So it's going to be amazing. I can't wait. And similar to last year, as CSP Aurora did, which was phenomenal, we're going to have a round by round breakdown to kind of explain how STV, the voting system we use in the CSM, works. So going forward, players and people who want to vote have like a bit of a better understanding of how their votes actually work in the CSM voting and through STV itself.
Absolutely, I think this is one of the
Okay, I know
most
how
important
how I can fix this.
elements that we need to cover here during the CSM 16 reveal is the functionality of this STV voting systems, which we do believe is actually working very well for us when it comes down to the democratic player elections of the CSM 16. And it absolutely will be quite a show to really deep dive and review all of the voting round by round as it has been happening. So even if
Look at
you
how
might
good of
have
an
been
editor
going on
I am, you
Reddit and
guys.
looking at different things, you only
Holy
gonna be able to
shit.
verify the information after we
Oh,
finish the
that's
show.
good
So
shit.
definitely stick together with us as we're gonna be looking
On the
at that,
fly,
and as well taking a
changing.
closer look at
We
all
also
of
got
those different
cat cam.
intricacies that are happening with the voting, especially with the small numbers when people are getting elected or eliminated from the vote itself. But Swift, I saw your
So
presentation. It is
hopefully
going
we
to be
finally figure out
beautiful.
how the
So
like actual
whenever
voting
we
system
are going to
works
be ready, just
because
in
they said
case
they'll do
Twitch
that.
chat, hello. I hope you're having a lot of fun. It's great to see so much enthusiasm and energy coming from everybody on this glorious night. Please do let us know if there are any sound or technical issues. But if not, I would only ask you to sit back, enjoy the show, and then support and really show the support of your favorite candidates there. They're really gonna need it. But CCP Swift, let's take
Today's
this
stream is just gonna be
show on
talking
the
shit,
road.
playing with the
Yeah, let's
cat.
do it.
Only
All
the
right.
Let's
finest
start. I
in
know everyone's
streamer
excited. They want to see the
technology.
results straight off, but I'm sorry, guys. You're gonna have to wait just a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of fun with that one. So,
The
without
candidate
further
reveal.
ado, I'm
Election
gonna jump
breakdown.
straight away into the first round that we had. So this is all of the 46 candidates that have been running for the CSM. We did originally communicated that there was 47 total
Hey,
candidates.
Gal. How you
However,
doing?
one player decided to withdraw for personal reasons. We wish him very well. But obviously right now what we have here are 46 remarkable human beings that have been putting themselves on the line, running elections, really trying to, showcase why there would be a valuable asset in the ongoing development of EVE Online. And I'm sure there is a lot of your favorites there.
Yeah, and
All right,
even
looks
the
good
the
enough.
candidates, obviously we can only pick 10 of these candidates, but each and every one of these candidates that you see listed here raised some very good things to talk about. Some really nice conversations were started because of each and every person here. So that's part of the reason why I love CSM
Big
season
data for
to begin
CSM.
with, just
That's
because
right.
of everything we get out of it. And it's not only the 10 of these people that will be elected. But with that, let's get on to round one.
Yeah,
Round
let's take a
one.
look.
Fight.
So obviously here we have the total number of votes. With this year, we've actually received 38,086 confirmed votes. which is an increase from the last year. If my memory serves,
Oh, nice.
last
More
year
votes
we
this year.
received 36,120 votes, so almost 2,000 more votes.
I'm doing good, Gab.
Total being casted by the players of EVE Online. As you see there on the very top, we also have a quota, which is the quota of votes necessary to be on the top of the ballots. It's 3,463 in order to get immediately elected.
Wait,
and in that first round,
hold on a
it's
second.
very
Oh, also,
clear
we need our
that
pin.
Merkelchen from Gunsform Federation, as well as Gobbins from Pandemic Horde,
Look at this
already
shit. Fucking null
secured
blocks.
their slot in the CSM 16
Are you joking
elections.
me?
Yeah, round one has a lot going on. So the numbers you see here are the number of people who voted for these candidates in their first position. Right, so you can see Innominate has only
All right.
200 people, 204
So right
people
here,
voting for him in the
and
number
right
one
here.
spot.
This is the
But we don't know how
problem.
many people are in the have him in
Fucking
the number
both
two
null
spot
blocks.
until
Imagine null
candidates
blocks
are
having a lot
eliminated
of
or until
power. I
candidates
know,
meet the
right?
quota.
Holy shit.
When that happens,
Get
their
them
excess
out.
votes get thrown back into the system, and it kind of matriculates through. So it's a really interesting way to preserve the votes and for people to kind of be a little bit more
I paid off a
adventurous
debt.
in who they want to.
I took
to have
that money
on
and
the
immediately gave it to someone
and you'll
else.
see all these numbers changing throughout the presentation. The first couple slides is actually going to go pretty quickly because we're dealing with small number of votes that are pretty much evenly distributed. But as we get kind of more into the depth of it and to the middle of the rounds, you'll see a little bit more time is spent tracking where each and every vote goes through. So this is really, really cool. But as Dopamine mentioned, you can see Merkelton completely crushed the quota. Gobbins got over by about 300.
I wonder
but
how many of
Merkelton
these
got
are
out
alts.
by almost 4,000. It's
Like,
one
how
of the
many actual
highest
people
first
voted
point
for
totals
Merkel?
or first vote totals that we've seen in the CSM. There have been, I think, 2 that have been higher, but not a bad showing for Merkelton at all. And we can see if we go forward that
Wait,
what
2
happens
actual
is
people
his
voted
votes
for him?
actually, since he goes over quota, they go over and spill over to a nominate because the people that had Merkelchen number 1 on their ballot, also many of them had it of Innominate as number 2. So those bonus votes go over to Innominate, and he is instantly elected.
So
because
4,000 people. Oh my god!
So Innominate at the end of round 1
fuck null blocks.
also elected to the CSM.
This is the problem.
And because he now has some overvotes himself, those overvotes spill
so
back
everyone
over to
put
Brisk
Merkel as
Paul.
number 1.
So Brisk gets
so he instantly
gets
in. And then Innominate is number 2. Like, Innominate had
Gobbins
204 number 1 votes, which is like relatively not a lot.
Absolute legend.
All of them get sent over to Pro God Legend. Exactly 209 of them get sent to Pro God. So you can just see how this starts to play out. Round 1, we have 3 CSMs elected straight off the bat. And spoilers, it's going to be quite a while before we get the next one. So you just have to brace for yourself.
So okay, so this is an immediate problem,
actually have
but
a handful
hopefully
of
it gets a little bit better in the
right
future.
now that have
We got Cumby Bear coming with the sub.
We have
Thank you so much.
With over
Congrats on the EVE partner,
votes.
Twitch partner. Here we come. That's right.
Mike Azariah with
That's the next goal.
We have
we need 80 concurrent viewership each stream.
A very
to hopefully
strong
make that possible.
Support for the lore candidate, the 311 candidate over here. We got Sedo with over 1,000 votes, Sutonia with 1,000 votes, Vili there in the corner with over 2,500 votes, as well as Progod Legend with over 1,600 votes. I think
I'm really sad that he's in.
Everybody here.
I don't like him very
obviously,
much.
those numbers will be changing as we go through. So there we go. Also, Theodore, who received the smallest number of votes, is being eliminated as the first one.
So this
in the
guy
first round, as obviously each round
is out.
we are going to be saying goodbye to one of the candidates there.
Goodbye. So each of the rounds that happen,
to the round 2.
One person gets eliminated, or one person gets eliminated.
There will be,
and then if people are over this quota
for the next couple of,
then they will give their
rounds as
extra
really
votes
trickling down and
to
spreading
the
those
number
different
2
votes
or number
based
3
on
slot,
the ballots that have been submitted during the elections. But we got the Knocker Wench Alduin, who currently sits at the very bottom of the board with 50.
We had the analysis pin. That's right.
Round 2.
Yeah,
for
you can see in the
analysis.
top left, that's the total number of votes within the system. So even though Tidor in the last round was
This is the
eliminated
total
with just
votes
30 votes,
right here.
every single ballot that had Tidor number 1 had someone else number 2, and so those votes stayed in the system. None of them got exhausted.
Right. So all of this
those
guy's
votes
votes
continue to count. That's the
continue to go to
huge
like
benefit of
all
having
these other
STV
people.
voting, so you can vote for
You know.
candidates that might have
So
a
even if
smaller
you had
shot, but you're
if you
not
had that guy
wasting
as
a
your number
vote
1,
in
your
any
vote
aspect
isn't
of it.
like totally gone. It goes to number 2 or what have you.
All right, so we say goodbye to Knock-A-Wrench, and as you can see, the vote total went down by a measly 2. So 2 of his 51 votes had either Knock-A-Wrench number 1 and nobody else, or possibly Tidor as their number 2, who is not in the running anymore.
Yep.
So all of those votes get preserved, bar 2. So it's a huge percentage of them that get to stay there.
That's right. In the round 4, we saw yet again that the total number of votes is going down just slightly, which very likely means that some of the votes simply got exhausted or were dedicated
Who the fuck is like voting for sticks and only sticks?
And currently
that seems weird.
It's Mr. Sticks.
Big Data is already over it.
57 votes.
Big Data can never get over it.
We
can follow Big Data around.
And it's getting eliminated in the 4th round of the CSM 16 elections.
Yeah, and Sticks had one of the more inventive.
Toby, did you vote for
Sticks? It was CSM 16. I'll put on his name. I'm sure he can figure one out for CSM 17 should he decide to run. But unfortunately, in round 4, we say goodbye, and his 57 votes get distributed throughout the rest of the remaining candidates.
Galb, you can rename your orca if you want.
All right, going into round 5, as part of the STV process, in every round, what ends up happening, as you guys have found out, the person with the lowest vote total gets eliminated. So in this case, Riker 514 of Busa in Horde is unfortunately eliminated. You can catch a lot of the stuff that he's done on the New Eden Post, where he
again, like
has a talk show.
The people that have been eliminated so far,
very interesting.
I basically have no idea who they are. They're I mean, I don't want to say they're not like important because that's a little rude, but like
yeah, we're taking
they never had a shot
right now.
We could probably go through like 15 rounds, just like bam, bam, bam.
Must have been
no one we really care about would probably leave.
The candidates that are unfortunately already out.
Just anyone below, like, I don't know,
going down ever so slightly. And
10% of the quota.
Zenuria,
so if you're like less than 10%, you just automatically get off
votes,
on the first round.
Will be leaving the competition for the CSM 16 in the round 6.
Yeah, but as you see here, this is where I'm going to start tracking a little bit more closely the votes. Obviously, this doesn't represent all of the votes, right? So each and every candidate has a chance to get them. What's been going on here is
American Tom wants us to pet the kitty.
All right. So too many red lines to follow.
Let me go pet the kitty.
But as you can see, when Zenuria is eliminated, he sends 12 of his votes over to Brisk Rubal, taking him closer to that vote quota that he needs of 3462. 9 go over to Sutonia, strangely enough.
Sutonia getting some more votes.
2 of them actually head up over to Micromancer, who would otherwise be the next candidate eliminated.
There we go. Then round 7, total votes 38,067 with also the new quota 3,461. None of the candidates it's really close to be achieving that number apart from Kenneth Feld. Kenneth Feld is currently sitting at 32,000. So it's just a little bit more.
So Brisk
to
is
really
pretty
push
good.
him over that line of getting on the CSM 16.
Billy's doing pretty good.
We will see how the votes progresses. Right
Ivy's
now,
is doing pretty good. I hope Ivy's gets in.
We have Kaylin Cero with 67 votes, which is literally just
where the fuck is Kenneth?
vote
here he is.
less than Micromancer.
Oh, Kenneth is almost definitely in.
We're gonna be saying goodbye to Kaylin in the round 7.
Goodbye,
Yeah, as you
Caitlin.
can see, those 2 votes that the Micromancer got from Zenuria were crucial for him surviving one more round. So Kalen Sero of Wheat Fleet, one of the many like wormhole-oriented candidates, is eliminated with 67 votes. But we can see
Yeah,
where
those are
those votes
our
actually
our
go.
top 4. Oh, Kitty has left the building for now.
Yeah, so we have
So we can see the whole
vote distribution
field.
with 9 votes going to Evie. We have 5 votes
Can't remember
going
who bought.
to
I mean, who I
Luthien,
voted
and then
for.
7 votes going to Mark Resurrectus.
Yeah, there was totally not bought
So
votes
Yeah, so
in
you can
this
see
campaign.
they
I don't
stay
know what
in
you're
the
talking
Wormhole
about.
family. So you can see that Mark Resurrectus gets kind of a good bump there with his 806, but Evie gets a good little buffer going forward. Right, none of these people are like really eliminated because you have no idea what's going to happen as
Gay Pride
the votes
Boom
start to trickle down.
still has 176.
There we go. Moving
That's
along,
pretty
we
surprising.
have round 8. And
But I guess Gay Pride Boom was actually someone that did do interviews and stuff. Like, I know a little bit of who they are, which means they're going to get some votes.
Was it intended? I guess we will never know. We're going to have
Funny
to
number.
ask Micromancer directly.
Micromancer
Will be
getting out with
leading the
69.
CSM 16 elections. It's definitely a great
He needs
score
to get off the
to
stage.
achieve.
Yeah, he memed his way in. He memed his way out as well. I
Nice.
think, unfortunately, he'll be sad that he goes out, but I'm sure he'll be happy that he went out with a nice amount of votes.
And as we can
Good to see Mike up there.
21 votes are just making their way to Mr. Brice Grubal, bringing
Dr. Spot only
him
has 456 right now.
Closer to really securing his.
Well, actually, that's
CSM
not
16
too bad.
seat.
It's a little less than half. Again, if our 2 main candidates, so Dr. Spot,
Round
get
9,
in, or
round 9 we have lucrative business
or
opportunity,
Sarah,
99 votes, which is currently
Baleful
the
Dysnomia gets
lowest
in.
score out of
We
everybody
will
there. Will be getting
get
eliminated.
a scope
in the
syndication
round
skin
9.
to give out.
When looking at the votes distribution, we can clearly see
we're just gonna do hearts.
that a handful of votes going again.
So we
to
want
Mr.
this
Brice
one,
Grubal, then
and
we
we
have
want
Mr.
this
Rix
one.
Javix and Mr. Sutonia himself getting 16 votes added to his pool.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how the breakdown goes. People that voted for lucrative business opportunity had Brisk.
You thought
which I guess kind of makes sense.
Spot and Phantomine would be more?
Is the
Yeah.
Fire Lord himself. He gets
You're not
11
Sotonia
tonight,
fan?
which I think people
No,
would
I actually,
probably not have
I think
expected.
Sotonia is like
And
my
then
number one
Kiwi
spot.
Kier, who's
I think
done
they
CSM
deserve to be on the
before,
CSM.
Sutonia,
The thing is, I
streamer,
don't think we need to
picks up
personally
a huge
support
amount
them
as well, or
to
rather,
make
a
it.
solid amount
So like
as well.
on my
So he
on my
gets,
vote card, my
16
number
of those
1 and 2
99
were
votes. The
Spot and
rest
Narissa.
kind of go through the system as
Arcia.
well. But these are the 3 big winners.
Right on. Another round, round 10. Unfortunately, with 109 votes,
He is a
we'll be
damn
saying
walking
goodbye
Wikipedia.
to
He's so
Xenomorph's
good.
Plague. Absolutely one of my favorite campaign videos that we saw.
Oh,
so big kudos to
Zeramis
you,
Plague is
Xenomorphs.
getting out.
I hope you're gonna keep it up and maybe create
That's
some more
okay,
videos
though.
for us to see outside
Our
of the
main
elections.
our
I
main
can
choice
definitely see the
for
talent
trick
there.
candidate
So I'm
was
looking forward to see more of that.
Marv.
And
What the fuck is his
when it
name?
comes down to
Maldavius.
the vote distribution, once again, votes going
So
all
let's
over
actually
the place.
let's do
11 to
candidates that we
Uriel.
like.
We got 9 to Arcia.
We're gonna do these in I don't know
9
yellows.
to Urius, and also 38 to Mistil Maldavius, another of the Triglavian candidates who've been running on the CSM 16.
Yeah, so the Triglavians really do stick together. As Dopamine mentioned, Maldavius, another Parchment candidate, gets a
Mike
huge
Azariah,
some
we
of those
want.
votes. Interestingly enough, Arcia and Uriel, who I believe, or I know Arcia is at least fighting Zeromus's people, but they understand that, hey, they're fighting us. They've got the same thing in mind, so they're also going to send some votes over to Arcia.
Ron, I
And
definitely
Jurius
want
Doctor,
Ron.
kind of out of nowhere.
Wow, Ron only has
people just were like,
673
hey,
right
this
now.
guy seems reasonable.
That's kind of
let's
crazy.
put him in my next slot.
I guess Ariel.
Next
No,
down, we
he's not getting
have
the yellow
Brudin
box. I
with
do like him. but
122 votes. Another candidate from
Sotonia
Karma
gets
Fleet
it.
Federation. Unfortunately, That
okay,
will
so
be
these are my top
as far as he
1,
can
2,
go
3, 4,
this
5,
year,
6, 7, 8.
but
These are my
obviously
top
that's not
8.
the end of the CSM,
And
we're
hopefully
absolutely
they get in.
ecstatic to see him run in the
Oh wait,
upcoming
Uriel.
years. Especially taking in consideration that
which
with
one's the
the 3-year
good
term
wormhole
limit
candidate?
that we
I
have
forget.
instituted right now, there will be some candidates
Is
getting
it
on
Uriel?
the CSM this year that will need to take a break
Or-
next year, which will open up really the opportunity for some of the other players to go out there and try to garner the support
Mark.
of the EVE
Right.
Online community.
Mark.
And Bruden, he was part of the Imperium ballot, I believe.
Where is Mark?
The 122 just
Where is
represents
Mark?
the number of first place votes he has. I have no doubt that he appeared on a lot of other ballots a little bit further down. But unfortunately, this is how the system works.
Uriel is an
So
RP
you see
candidate?
Of
Oh,
the
okay.
122,
Mark Resurrectus.
52,
Mark
a whopping
Resurrectus.
52 go over to Brisk, sending him ever so closer to that quote totem.
Oh, here he is. Okay.
You can see he's actually inching up on Kenneth Feld right now. And 14 go over to
top
Andrew
9.
Mustache,
Let's go.
giving him a little bit of a buffer to survive the extra rounds, hoping more will cascade and trickle down onto him.
And in round 12, we actually will have the first
Robert Downey
candidate
Iron
representing the Russian-speaking community, Robert Downey Iron, with 156 votes.
Going down.
Eliminated from the election.
Womp.
When looking at
oh wait,
the
I
votes,
got this.
No surprise there. 35 votes going to
we're
Mr.
so ready.
Ibist and 17 votes to Mantis Akiga, which 2 of them are obviously other Russian-speaking candidates that we have running for the CSM this year. On top of that, we got 15 votes that made their way to Pro-God Legend. Just to,
Ibist is getting
give
more. That's
yet
pretty good.
Another boost.
Pro-God,
that's gonna be enough to really get him over. We're gonna
Mantis,
have to wait and see.
I don't know.
There's
whatever.
still plenty of rounds to go. My friends, I hope you're having a lot of fun. As
yeah,
we
Rixie,
are.
I fucking love the stream deck. It's so good.
When you look at this way. So big shout out and kudos to
it's literally
for spending a lot of
life-changing.
his precious time actually putting this together in the PowerPoint.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, so interestingly enough here, we see ProGod gets 15 of those votes, as Dopamine mentioned. Some of those actually go to Gobbins, and then Gobbins has the other votes that spill over back into ProGod. That's a dynamic that we're going to actually get into a little bit later when it's a little bit more apparent. But one of the interesting things here is...
What I don't like what they're doing here is that they're like... They're only showing like the top 3 amount of like spill off votes,
so far,
but really
in terms of votes that are exhausted,
all of these votes, all 156 votes here do spill off, unless this was like their last and only vote, right?
Or they're like,
but basically all of these votes do spill off,
right? So that's
despite them only showing like 30, like 70 or something.
It's pretty much the first time we've seen one this large.
Oh, and then 25 get actually just
round
destroyed.
13, we unfortunately see
round
a big explosion.
13.
Gay Pride boom.
Gay Pride boom.
189 votes.
Eating the dust.
Not enough to really stay in the elections itself. In terms of the vote distribution, we do see 38 votes going to Jim Hellscott. We have another 16 going to Maldavius and 15 to Stitch Caneland.
Yeah, Stitch, Sutonia, Phantomite, Arcia, they're all really fighting in this one spot, this one area for the same votes. So it's interesting to kind of watch as this plays out. There is a lot of heated contention for those like low-sec, more small gang votes. So, you know, a lot of fighting. And it's interesting to see Stitch gets a bunch of the votes from a suicide ganker.
Good evening, Klenos.
That took me a bit by
surprise.
Doing? But hey, whatever works. It just shows that you can't really predict.
You thought Rich would be doing better?
Absolutely.
What's Rich at right now?
Absolutely.
Richman.
We're getting close to round 15. At that time, we're going to take a
You thought he was going to be doing better?
Here, but round 14,
Wave TV
right
coming in with the Dr. Spot or Riot.
25 votes. White Orchid from Volta.
Aw, we kind of liked White Orchid.
Eliminated from
but I guess they're gone. That's okay. Oh, I got this.
What
Wait,
can
wrong
this
one.
vote distribution tell us, CCP Swift?
All right, so White Orchid, as I mentioned before, like the whole Stitch, Suetonia, Phantomite, Arcia, like they're all kind of fighting for
either or both
same type
Dr.
of votes.
Spod or Arcia get into the CSM. We are going to be giving away a Scope Syndication Megathron skin.
So
all you got to do is type in ! Scope to get in that giveaway.
17 go over to Phantomite, and then out of nowhere, 38 of them, so like a good like 18% of his total votes go over to Mike Azariah. Mike Azariah has been on the CSM before. He's currently on the CSM right now, on CSM 15, and his focus is on newbies. And
we're getting pretty close to Kenneth getting in.
Like
that'll be a good one.
Player-driven new player
also Brisk.
Sort of
let's fix
hand.
Brisk.
So it's really weird to see these like cutthroat PvPers give votes off to complete newbies. Well, not newbies, but to new players. So that's a very interesting dynamic, but I'm sure Mike's going to be very happy about that, getting some votes here and there, because he was not part of any main block.
Yeah, I think that can only demonstrate that if you're doing good within the community, you will garner the support. And even though it might
almost
not
got rid
be
of all
your particular playstyle or
pro
your
player
group,
marks,
I think we know very well that we do appreciate all the good that people are doing all over the place in EVE Online community. So big shout out to Mike for driving the bus and delivering those ships to our poor rookies who just keep losing them for no particular reason all the time.
Those poor rookies.
Right on. Round 15. So in round 15, we're going to be saying goodbye to Dutch Gunner with 231 votes. Unfortunately, not enough to really hang on in the elections themselves.
Apparently it's going to get over 100 today.
We've dropped below 38,000 of total votes. So a bunch of those already got exhausted by simply living together with some of the candidates that got eliminated. Our quota has also changed. We're currently sitting at 3,452 votes required to get elected. And once again, I think the closest gentleman we have right now is Kenneth Feld with 3,300.
I need to stop doing that.
With 2,500.
Dutch Gunner was low sec, right? Well. Yeah, so he was basically what I would consider the counterpart to Arcia. Dutch Gunner is a good RPer. He does involve a lot of the low sec community. Real cool guy.
Again,
he's actually he's getting out of the race.
No!
I didn't know that. Boo!
And 18 to Shui Jingjing from Caput Draconis.
What's really weird is that his votes are not going to Arcia primarily. They're going to Uriel, who's another RPer. Mike Azariah, who's a good dude. I don't know who Shui is. And Brisk, all right.
Like very much in contention with over 1,000 votes. Like that's absolutely nuts.
So Dutch Gunner gets
for a first time
no more
running to get so many. And
a yellow circle. He's out of here.
Much more of a lore background. So very cool to see, but yeah, Dutch
actually
Gunner,
let's do
he is eliminated.
Oh Jesus. Oh, this is a recap. Okay.
So here we do
we got
have
this.
The quick recap.
Now we can
of the
actually use this
15
feature
rounds.
appropriately.
We had the 38,086 votes casted. That's again a little under 2,000 total more than the last year. The number of votes
only 117 votes exhausted so far. Pretty crazy.
90%.
Well, I guess not.
Of votes
so
have
basically,
been transferred
117.
So just a mere 10% of the entire votes.
What Dopamine is saying.
Thanks
for the response, Dopamine. You no need to speak over me like this,
into account,
but it's okay.
In the next rounds themselves. Yeah, that's why we love STV, man. Anything to add, Swift?
No, on the next slide, you'll see a little bit more of a breakdown of the groups of people that are voting or who voted. You will see that a bunch of Americans voted.
Okay, this is a cool graph.
People from the UK. Germany
US
with a huge representation. 3,500 Germans voted nearly. A bunch of Russians voted, 2,338.
Over 4 times the amount of UK. Or I guess not quite. Like 3 times the amount of UK.
Mantis Akiga and iBeast are probably the most notable.
Where's
ones.
Sweden?
iBeast,
Sweden's not even on this list. God damn it.
So more like it's not only Russians voting for these Russian candidates.
Let's go,
So it's got a
Deutschland.
pretty broad appeal. I was actually very happy to see how high Japan was in on the list, because Japanese localization is relatively new in the scope of.
I wonder who the largest audience for Eve is. American botters, really, not botters, alt accounts. Americans and their alt accounts is the primary audience for Eve.
Kind of sprinkling it.
Fourth from the bottom is Sweden. Oh,
yeah,
fuck
for sure.
yeah,
I think
nice.
It's great to see
we did
this type of engagement from all over the world, really. Obviously, we do know that United States is the primary country that most of the EVE Online players are coming from, but
time
still
for a quick little
seeing Russia so high, seeing Spain so high on the
Raiders.
top 15 countries that are really participating in the CSM. I think it's really great to see, and obviously big shout out to our Australian
Brett
friends.
holds the most space, and their candidate looks like he's not getting through. Space doesn't equal votes.
Voted in the CSM 16 elections. You guys rock.
More votes than the Prime Minister got.
They send those ballots upside down, but it looks like they filled them out just fine.
All right, let's do Stream Raiders real quick.
Walk me through the round 16 now. All right, so Wintenzovic.
Good luck, everyone.
Call him Vincent, so I'm going with Vincent. Vincent, unfortunately, is next on the CSM elimination block.
Sounds like Vincent's getting wrecked.
Votes.
That's okay,
Vincent
though.
Is more wormhole aligned, so we can expect to see a bunch of his votes going over to different wormholers. Interestingly,
kill the Dargans or the Raptors.
Gets a ton of those votes.
The dinosaurs.
So Ibis just
good job, team. Looks like we're succeeding here.
Comes out from all over the place.
Good old community effort
of the Holy Roman Empire. He's
open the captain chest. Everyone's getting 6 gold. On top of that, Ace Aspire is getting a paladin, and Ale Zarathi is getting 25 gold.
Shui Jingjing gets.
We're going to the boss now. Holy crap! It's a 5 skull. I've never actually done a 5 skull. I don't think we're getting a purple chest out of it.
As the round progresses, just the smallest vote.
Throw your big boys out. We're gonna put our big T-Rex.
Teddy Fox from the Wormholers.
There we go. And let's switch back to the actual content.
Mark and Teddy more or less split it 50-50, or not 50-50, but more or less split it 1-1.
There we go.
And 23 of those votes get exhausted. So this is similar to the Robert Downey Iron situation we saw earlier, where 25 of his votes got exhausted. Now, because there are fewer candidates left in the pool.
All right, cheese party.
Those votes are going to no one. So
is
23
out.
are down,
Vinny,
but really 23 out of 244.
Vincent. Oh, it's
so
Vincent.
Bad.
Right.
Yeah, that's definitely something to be expected, but still, I think it only demonstrates how critical that is.
Trouble Trade says, we're not watching this rig shite, are we? Horde, Goons Test, Goons
really
Pandemic,
sure
Frat, nothing changes, no wins, rig. Oh, no. I mean, that's definitely so far what we've seen with Merkel and Dominate and Goblins getting in so far. But hopefully we do get some good people in as well.
Votes getting eliminated from the elections. A huge chunk of those votes going to Brice Grubaldeman himself with 71 votes, and then 25 votes just going closer to.
There will be no cheese parties tonight.
So really keeping them
no.
Over there.
Yeah, and similar to Bruden, Bruden had given over a bunch of his votes.
We actually, let's put this back in. We had this Dutch Gunner up here,
people had him,
and we're going to
but unfortunately we'll never know. But those votes go over, as you mentioned, in a large way to Brisk,
because he's no longer with us.
Closer. And Baculus also.
We'll see how many I find. How many of my top 9
keeping him off
get in
the chopping block floor for a little while longer.
Richmond
round 18
is
285 votes, not enough anymore. Richmond,
the W, the L, he's losing.
It's been
I'm so good at this.
I hope you were right doing there, but unfortunately we're gonna have to use your votes somewhere else. And as you can see, they're just really cascading all over the place. We have 14 going to Sutonia.
Wow.
14 going to Seto.
Yeah, his fucking stop.
Kenneth Feld.
Stop, I say.
19 to Dr. Spot. Arcia
his votes are going fucking everywhere.
As well as Progot getting 42.
How did 42 of his fucking votes go to ProGod?
Rich has just got
and then 56 go to Kenneth.
All over the place.
You what, mate?
GIS alum Arcia getting some of them. Same with Dr. Spod. Seto, who is kind of announced his candidacy very late in the period, is very quietly sneaking up here with over 1,000 votes, and he's slowly been growing. But as you mentioned, Kenneth, who's been getting like 1 or 2 votes every round, this is the first time that we see him get a sizable chunk.
What does the blue circle mean again? That they're close to being in. So these are the 4 that are the closest to being meeting the quota.
Of the STV voting that we must not forget is in the more ballots you actually are, you can get just a little of those votes every now and there. And over here, there's clearly a lot of people that are going head to head. So even if you're gonna get a couple of votes every round, that can actually put you, over the top of the quota to get elected, especially as we're gonna be getting closer and closer to the last rounds. I think it's gonna really visually nice.
We're about to go to round 19 and then the big 20.
Head around it.
How many votes? How many rounds are there?
Crucially here, Rich Richmond sends 5 of his votes over to
3,
Mantis
4,
Akiga.
5, 6.
This is important because
1,
Mantis
2,
only
3,
had 302
4, 5, 6,
votes
7.
Before
1,
this
2,
round, so she was
3,
next
4,
on the chopping
5,
block.
6, 7.
But this catapults her, which is 1 more round ahead.
42? No, 48, right?
Saving by just 2
minus
or 3
1,
votes,
so 47.
can make the difference between.
So we're not quite halfway through the rounds.
And when those votes kind of trickle down.
Yeah, and you never know how many votes you're gonna get the next rounds, right? So even though you're kind of staying on the low end of the elections, if you've been put higher in some other ballots, that can actually
those will be frats votes. Those 3 were all on frat list.
And really make sure that you stay in the election.
Is there
much longer.
like a place that has basically like frats list, goons
so what's
list?
Gonna be happening here?
Yeah, again, this is what we talked about. Just
I want to see what all the big null blocks have
votes.
as their like full
Orton
list.
Is now with 1 vote at 306. The next on the list
Bacchus
to go down.
Eaton.
He sends his votes over in a lot of actually funky ways that we kind of have to talk about
Bacchus,
a little bit here.
Bacchus is an interesting CSM candidate because essentially like he didn't expect to win this time. He didn't really want or think about winning, but he it seems like a little bit like he is prepping for the future CSMs.
They have already qualified.
He's probably going to be a prime goon candidate in the future.
We'll see. Going to pro got a bit, but because this is a substantial number. Those Merkelchin overvotes actually feed over to a nominate, and those nominate overvotes feed all the way over back into Brisk. So Brisk is a huge winner here. He gets more than just those 50 votes. He ends up getting 221 votes by the time all is said and done. And as you can guess, that catapults him above the quota needed for CSM. And in
Brisk
this one
is getting in.
Brisk manages to get himself elected onto CSM 16. With the help of Bacchus Orton.
That's a win for us.
Ballots were structured. All of those overvotes ended up feeding back into one another and creating this huge green wave over to Brisk.
Scoring a total of 3,550 votes. Yeah, that's really interesting to look at this that way and just track down exactly how do those votes move around on the ballots.
Yeah, so there was just a ton of movement there. And now all of those votes that were going to go to Brisk before will now cascade over onto other candidates as well. So just a really cool phenomenon working down. And you can just see how quickly this happens.
Brisk is popping bottles.
Mantis Akiga, who had just barely survived, now is finally eliminated. 41 votes go to Sutonia. 68 go over to fellow Russian iBeast. 9 go over to RC Elkin.
Oh man, iBeast is getting pretty close too.
A lot of support from all over the place. And it's something that
let's see. We can go ahead and change up this blue circle.
Crucially here, you see 69 of those votes
now.
End up getting exhausted as well. So those are people that were, as we mentioned before.
So who is close? Kenneth?
People that are no longer on Mantis's ballot that are no longer
Billy.
So those votes get chucked out.
Is anyone else above 2,000? I guess Pro God is now.
21, unfortunately, yet another wormhole candidate, Evie.
I'm gonna say 2,500 is when they get the blue circle.
326 votes.
Because I'm just hoping
again,
Pro God doesn't get
ever
in.
so higher, not enough anymore to really stay and try to compete further.
How is the chairman selected? I have no idea, Pixel.
Yeah, wormholers are really interesting each and every year to see how their support is going to go down. The early 20 rounds are not going to be very kind to
Ibeast deserves it.
wormholers.
Yeah, I like
We see
Ibeast. I'm
Evie
hoping
going
that they
down,
get in.
sending 27 of their votes over to Teddy, another wormhole candidate. 52 over to Mark Resurrectus,
Ooh,
who is
Mark
now
is
the
getting
front runner in
a
terms
little
of
bit.
wormhole candidates. And then, similar to what we saw before, wormholers also just love Mike Azariah. So 55 of those
course,
votes end up
wormholers
in
love
Mike's
Mike.
basket. He'll be happy about that.
Mike is a good
really
dude.
Explain it, but props to Mike for just scoring votes all over the place here.
No, like it doesn't matter where or what, how you play, where you play, etc. You gotta like Mike. Is he the best for CSM? Maybe not, but
wormhole
you gotta like him, and that's how he's getting votes.
352 votes, getting eliminated, with 80 of those votes going to Mark Resurrectus, 37 to Ibeast, 58 to Teddy.
How does Ron only have 708 votes right now? I didn't think that was possible. I thought he was like one of the big boys.
From the overall total pool, we're currently at 3,700, so still a hefty number of votes at play. That will
to
really
Dr.
make
Spot.
A difference
Oh, it's not looking good for our boy.
As we go down the rounds.
I don't think he's going to last that many more rounds.
A lot of those 32 votes that were exhausted would have actually gone over to Evie had Evie survived another round. But because that's not the case, they go out into the ether there. But yeah, Mark Resurrectus is now the wormholer's last hope.
Also,
he's quietly surging
as we get further and further into the rounds. Things are going to get a lot more swingy, because basically when someone gets eliminated, they distribute a lot more votes now. So speaking of 420 votes are going to be distributed instead of like originally in like round one, like a tenth of that was being distributed, like 442 or something.
Let's take a look. How do those votes
Whoa, look at these red lines
distributed? Woo. Actually quite a lot of movement here. We got 19 Arcia, 30 going to Jim, 41 to Durius. We got 34 going to
our good boy Spod, getting some from Shuey.
19 to going
Arcia
to Teddy,
picking up some.
19's going to Uriel.
Sotonia getting some.
Okay. 39 are going to Ibeast, and
I'm also kind of surprised that Sultonia's only got
as you can see,
1,200
this is just
right now.
An absolute mess, but it just shows how broad of a candidate Shui was.
I really expected these Sultonia and Ron to have a lot more
of support for other candidates. This is the most wild one that I've seen up till now. And it actually it's one of the most wild ones throughout the rest of the rounds. So Shui candidates just all over the place here, spreading the love.
Kenneth.
And big
Kenneth might get in on the next
kind of next
round.
But both got a ton of votes.
I gotta imagine that Kenneth will get in at this point. He's too close.
A few more rounds and get a few more trickle down effects for them.
Next up, round 24.
Jim from the scope.
Jim Hellscott with 519 votes is getting eliminated. Let's take a closer look at how
going to Maldavius
are getting
from Ibeast.
So
a lot of Sultonia, a lot of Ricks. I like all of these arrows. I like
really getting that support from all over the place. I'm really happy to see that very likely his appearance and his campaign has really resonated not only with the Russian-speaking community.
I'm liking how we've only lost one candidate so far.
Votes
who is
from Jim. Landing at Moldavius lap, then 58 votes going to the Rix Javix, and then 49 votes just rolling to Sutonia.
Yeah, a lot of diversity here as well. Not as crazy as Shri
Rix
before, but
is not looking good.
Maldavius, I think, is a quiet big winner here. He's low on votes, so giving him a few more is always nice. The 29 over to Ibeast, you mentioned it, man. Ibeast is just getting votes from all over the place, not only the Russian community, just from everywhere. Rix,
that's because we need someone like Ibeast on the council.
Rix so far.
That's why Ibeast is getting votes from everywhere.
Big wins previously, but 58 when you're sitting on 639 is massive. So that's a nice little buffer for him. As I mentioned before, Rix, Sutonia, Phantomite, Stitch, they're all kind of fighting for one another's votes. And the ones that can survive the longest, they're going to get a lot of those cascade votes coming in to give them a nice little boost.
No.
Next round, number 25.
No.
Maldavius.
Our boy.
600 votes. Unfortunately, not enough to really stay in
Maldavius
the elections. Triglavian candidate. Strong campaign. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to say goodbye.
No popping bottles for him.
Looking at the votes, I mean, I think
lots of votes going to Sultonia and iBeast. Nice.
Going to iBeast, 20 votes to
That's
Kenneth,
right, Whelps in chat.
which at this point, I mean, I think it's critical and really something that he needed. 127 votes to Sutonia, 70 to Uriel himself. And as you guys can very likely do the basic math,
hey, Kenneth
that
got
brings
in.
Kenneth over the 3,411 votes quota necessary to get elected. And Kenneth is our 5th CSM 16.
So we're halfway through. 5 out of 10.
Confirmed.
We have
really
2 good members.
Seat on the council.
Well,
yeah, Kenneth had
is Brisk a good member? I don't know. We have 1 good member, 1 okay member, and 3 we'll just say bad members.
When Blazing Bunny went out, and then he just got.
And okay, I should say these members are not necessarily bad. They're just the way that they got there was not through merit, but rather through mass.
But as you can see, he only needed
voting.
1 vote from this round. He got 20. So huge congrats to Kenneth Feld from CSM 15 being reelected to CSM 16. It should be noted so far, all of these 5 candidates so far are incumbents on CSM 15. But I promise you there will be a little bit of change.
They're all incumbents.
Coming soon.
So if you can get on, then
right, so a quick recap
you
here.
likely will get on again.
1625, we said goodbye to yet another 10 candidates. Thank you very much, guys, for again running on the elections, doing your campaigns, going on the shows. It just really shows the dedication out there, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys are going to be up to for the next year, and obviously definitely
ain't that the fucking truth.
Stay in
Step
touch.
1, be a null sec. Step 2, accept literally everyone.
What do we see here is 379 votes went to Estonia over the last 10 rounds. 987 Brisk Rubal.
Maybe we should have some restrictions on how many alliance can get in. That way to ensure multiple views are represented. And
434 votes got exhausted in the last 10 rounds. So yet again, really. In the grand scheme of
you say it's normal the massive players are null. I don't actually think that's true. I don't think the massive players are null.
Everything remains in circulation, helping to determine.
You thought Maldavius was a shoe-in? Definitely not. No.
On the CSM.
Yeah, exactly. And this is
I thought he had a sort of decent chance, but like
got a huge number of raw votes.
I didn't think it was a shoe-in.
It's
sad that he's gone though.
Votes, how many people or who the big winners were. And Dr. Spot and Jury's Doctor both had a huge surge. Almost
the massive players on the same page and all, yes. So like things like the blue donut,
exactly
issues like that.
These guys are very cruising.
Weirdly enough, like
numbers,
it's really quite peaceful and diplomatic in null. Compared to the fucking Wild West of the low sec.
We also want to say, celebrate the candidates that were gone.
Like low sec is a lot more like small factional groups, like fighting over like little places for fun.
As they have been elected.
Whereas null is like, all right, let's get everybody and build our empire and not try and fight enough.
With the most
let's just grab.
Votes. So they're no longer alphabetical order. And if we go to the next part of it, you'll see that instead of just showing
a lot of null players do a bunch
of
of stuff out of null too.
Show you where each
not sure how it works in blue blocks.
Goes to, right?
I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that, Pixel. At least I know that like if you're in a
over to Mike Azariah, so Mike is a
null block, a lot of times will be war decked like all of the time by multiple people. And so doing anything outside of your region, especially in like high or low sec, becomes significantly more dangerous.
And iBeast, again, out of nowhere, he is, as we see,
so a lot of times you just stay in null, and then sometimes you have like out of corp alts that do things not null. But
right, round 27. 720 votes. Phantomite, unfortunately, getting eliminated from the CSM 16 elections. Phantomite is obviously one of the
switched up
members of the
our
CSM 15 right
thing,
now.
so
I've been
we gotta remake our markings
for the entire year, really putting himself out there. Mate, it has been a pleasure. I think you did a tremendous work there.
I wish they would have told me they were going to do this.
It is something to
so
be
the
proud
people
of,
that we want
what you have
are
done over the course
Sultonia,
of the last term. But
Arcia,
looking at the votes here, the
Mike,
highest number, 202, going to Sultonia.
Mark,
I think no surprises there, really. 116, iBeast. I mean, you know, as it stands right now, I think it would need to be a miracle for iBeast not to get on the CSM 16. But I guess everything can really happen.
Dr. Spod,
83 votes going to Stitch. We got 35 votes going to Progot, 40 to Mark
then let's put our hearts
so
back on.
Split for the rest of the remaining candidate, getting a little bit of support from the Phantomites payloads.
So again, if Arcia and or Dr. Spod
720 votes
get
Rix
in
Javix
the
is at 721.
CSM, we will be giving away a Scope Skin Megathron skin. All you got to do to get in that is type in exclamation mark
as I
scope.
mentioned before, Sutonia, Stitch, Phantomite, Rix, and Arcia, they're all kind of in contention for a lot of the same votes here.
Left?
So just that one vote is all it took
for
Rix to survive another round and get 32 extra votes here.
No, iBeast is here.
You know, as you can see,
I just haven't. iBeast is not. I do want iBeast to get in, but they're not one of my
elimination
yellow blocks, right?
By just holding on with that one vote buffer.
And then let's do our blue circles
Teddy,
to show who's almost about to get in.
The lowest vote total.
Right, okay. I was wondering, what does this arrow mean?
We got Billy.
Swift, but thank you for clarifying that for me. Let's.
Oh God! Oh no! They're messing everything up.
So
damn it, CCP! Why didn't you coordinate with me beforehand?
Teddy, GBYC.
My markings.
Leaving the CSM elections.
Okay.
We still have one more wormhole candidate, Mark Resurrectus, fighting for his life. So not all hope is lost for the wormhole community.
What's going on here?
To get their candidate elected.
We're just going to get rid of our markings.
Looking at the
We're going
votes
to play it by ear.
Obviously, 245 of the 750 from Teddy going to Mark, 173 going to Rix. Big support for Sutonia with 70 votes.
Oh, so now they are okay. They're ordered by the amount of votes they have. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but Rix does it again, right? He's overheating. He only had a 3-vote buffer this time, right? He went from a 1-vote buffer to a 3-vote buffer to save off elimination.
And
so he's overheating.
I mean, Spot or Rix is going to eat the shit.
And you can see
it looks
he
actually
leapfrogs another set of candidates.
Spot.
And survives all that
Oh
much
no.
longer.
Get your failure buttons ready, everyone.
Yeah.
As soon as we see the red go on Dr. Spot.
Oh,
it did.
Stay.
Oh no.
It's around 29. Dr. Spot,
Boo.
775 votes.
Let me do this.
Thank you very much. It's been great seeing you here, but unfortunately,
Boo.
this is not enough to remain fighting for the CSM 16 seat.
I wanted Dr. Spot in so much.
How those votes are trickling down to our remaining candidate.
Right, going down with the ship.
110 votes from Dr. Spot, 153 going to Sutonia. Progot also getting a hefty 86 votes.
Oh wow!
From Dr. Spot.
So yeah, Dr. Spot gives 153 to Sultonia, 110 to Mike. That's pretty good.
CSM
16 elections.
74 to Arcia.
Exactly. And if my math serves me correctly, I think this takes Arcia to 1337 votes, which is surely a good omen.
Oh, really?
For Arcia.
Arcia's got some elite votes now.
That second line right there. We still only have 5 candidates selected. So there's a lot to work with. There's very little wiggle room. It's very tightly packed in that second row.
Yeah, it's actually a really, really close race. Only half of the seats are selected, And there's
round
so
30,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
850 votes.
6, 7, 8, 9,
Run
10, 11, 12.
USMC.
So basically, half of these people,
eliminated.
a little less, are going to be on the CSM.
107 vote less.
Run
than
USMC.
Javik, so again, proud there would be those instances of getting just a little bit of votes every here and there. That could
start a fucking riot,
over,
you guys.
Riggs or Stitch,
start a fucking riot.
That unfortunately did not happen.
All of our favorites are eating the shit now.
Let's see. 218 votes going to Willy. That would obviously be to be expected. And
you say Pro God Legend Willy will go in with the Ron votes?
As well. Yeah. 97 to Tonya. 68 to Mike.
Quite possibly.
Mike's just grabbing votes left and right. It's really exciting to see.
He really is. In the last couple of rounds, Arcia and Mike are both kind of sneaking away with a bunch of votes here, while it looks like iBeast and Sutonia are getting big wins. But as you mentioned, like Willy and Pro God, this is a huge win for them.
Yeah, so I imagine
giving them all those.
Oh God! So I imagine iBeast, Willy, Pro God
not a lot of like
will bring us up to 8, and from there
on this
we got to get Sultonia and Arcia, right? Yeah,
that's right.
So that's what I'm putting my biscuits in.
Next
iBeast,
round,
Willy, Pro God, Sultonia, Arcia.
Pirate, Riggs, Javix, 972. Dropping off from the election. Let's look.
And if that doesn't happen, I'll be super sad. Well, I guess if Willy and Pro God don't get in, I won't be sad, but they're gonna get in.
Sutonia 147, Mike.
In which case, Jesus Christ, the CSM fucking controlled by null blocks. I didn't believe it to be that strong.
The remaining candidates,
but oh God.
And I'm just looking at iBeast and trying
to about
but we're
a bit of a problematic situation
from really getting him on. But I mean, I think at this point it's really gonna be a no-brainer. There is only a matter of time before the next batch of random votes and you know the support really gonna put him over.
That's why I gotta run next year. I mean, sure, I'll run, but like, I don't think I'll get in, considering the fucking state of things.
The skin of his teeth with like a 1 vote margin, a 3 vote margin, now an 18 vote margin. Unfortunately, goes against him this time. But you can see Sutonia, a huge winner here.
Good, Sutonia's getting a win.
The Wormholer's last hope for CSM 16. It's a massive boost, a massive shot in the arm.
Mark would be great.
Propels him a few spots ahead, actually.
Yeah, that's right. He is just going a little bit under behind Mike. And
I have to choose between Sultonia, Arcia, and Mark.
Uriel, with that extra boost.
And if I can choose two,
next round, so
I think I choose Sultonia and Arcia.
Getting eliminated in the round.
Even though I do quite want Mark to get in.
1,048 votes.
Hopefully Pro God just like stalls completely. Yeah, that would be amazing.
It's been harsh, for these candidates.
If we could do iBeast, Willy, Sultonia, Mark, and Arcia,
amazing ideas.
It would be halfway salvaged.
And all of the conversation that comes out of him is
leverage the Serenub ballot.
Very,
yeah,
very
I know, right?
To us,
we'll do it. We'll do it.
But you can see how closely these guys are aligned. Stitch sends 570.
Say not gonna happen. Yeah, it's almost definitely not gonna happen.
Now has like 2,800 votes. He overtakes Pro God Legend. Massive shot in the arm to Suit. iBeast also gets 54 votes. And if my math serves me correctly, I think that's all he needs. I think that's iBeast getting
iBeast is in.
16.
There you go. Congratulations. So Russian speaking candidate getting on the CSM.
Good job.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if my memory serves, but isn't this the first time iBeast have actually been running for the CSM election, Swift?
Yep, this is his first time running. And
oh
he made
wow!
It so easy. He just waltzes in.
All right, never mind. We're getting in. We're getting in next year.
No problem.
iBeast did it.
Come in here, cozy up next to
we got this.
All these CSM veterans that have been on for 4 or 5 terms. Yeah, just my first time. No big deal.
Beautiful to watch. And
easy. Yep.
Pretty much ecstatic to welcome iBeast in the culture. It will be a great addition, not only due to his vast knowledge about the game, but also the insight to the one of the most passionate kind of local communities in EVE Online.
Sweet Tonia
our
next.
Russian players, they're absolutely the best.
Quite honestly,
and
he
I'm
might be next.
firsthand, guys,
He's picking a lot of these runoff votes
when we
up.
did the World Tour,
He's
Russia
getting in ahead of Pro God.
Absolute blast. You could really feel, the passion there was almost tangible in the venue. So I'm glad.
So like, look, okay, Sultonia, 578 extra votes. Mark 111. Arcia 58. Pro God only 37. We just need Pro God to just fucking stop getting any votes.
But not
hell, even Billy.
I mean,
Billy's almost definitely going to get in, but like, so Pro God still needs 700 votes to make it.
Down in some cases,
I don't know if he will get it. You know,
you could see it round by round
because we have I don't think Pro God is going to get in
snipping into
because we got Sado who might give Pro God some, but Uriel, not a lot is from Uriel is going to go to Pro God. Arcia, not a lot from Arcia is going to Pro God. Mark, not a lot. Mike, not a lot. I'm betting Pro God doesn't get in, which will be the #1 victory of the day. I mean, but aside from like Arcia getting into CSM, which is obviously #1 victory.
The season, and he just was like pretty much cavalier, like, oh, don't worry, I'll just get 1,200 votes, no biggie.
Yeah, Jambalaya, exactly.
Very cool guy. FC previously for Legacy,
all right,
now doing his own thing in Dreadbomb.
Sultonia, holy shit, Sultonia is going to get in before Billy. Wait, right now, Sultonia is getting in.
Read that biggie.
Can I get a yay?
Arcia is a big winner here with
that's a W.
Votes, but not as big as Sutonia. Seto voters love Sutonia, so Seto was eliminated. 541 whopping votes go
what a bunch of votes. Holy
and
crap.
That catapults him above the quota for
so Uriel,
sure.
Okay, Uriel's going to get shat on.
Absolutely.
But I think a lot of votes from Uriel is going to Arcia.
Those votes actually end up getting exhausted.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. 3,478 votes.
Things are looking kind of up.
Point to get
kind of up.
Tonya, congratulations.
Oh, Stream Raiders.
Back, my
I think we're going to wait on Stream Raiders.
To have you on
this is too exciting.
Again. Arcia, with that boost of 164 votes, she is overtaking Mark on the 4th spot.
Hell yeah, Arcia getting lots of votes from Sado.
In the remaining candidates there.
Good.
So let's take a look at the round 34.
All right.
We're getting closer there. It's really
basically all of Uriel's to Arcia. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking at least 700.
1,500 vote. Uriel Paradisi, Anternov Unuechi getting eliminated.
Is there going to be enough votes to actually get in?
Win overall, and just shows the great support from the lore community.
We need 3 more people to get in.
It was amazing.
How many votes are there?
Him getting so far,
like
in the CSM
1,500 or wait, so like 30.
So I'm just
4,000. We'll say like 5,000 votes.
How those votes?
3. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's totally fine.
To nobody's surprise. 225. Of those,
a lot of Uriel's votes are going in the drain.
We got 128.
Oh God,
Mike, and just
I wanted more to go to Arcia.
As well.
So
not much movement there in terms of positions, but obviously still a little bit.
That's not what we needed to see.
Just to kind of keep you alive in this vicious CSM competition.
Yeah, this round.
That's going to lower the quota, though, right?
If you're doing some math on your napkin here, like, that's not too many votes. I expected more. But if we look a little bit further here, it turns out an absolute ton of Uriel voters also had iBeast on there. So almost 800 Uriel voters had iBeast.
Oh, no.
So those votes trickled down, but through how crazy this ballot magic works, 630 votes nowhere, because it's not because iBeast is already on, though that already plays a role into it, but people had Uriel, iBeast, and then someone who's already been eliminated, and that's just a massive loss of votes there. You would have expected some more to go a little bit spread out.
The Uriel voters failed us. They fucking failed us.
Just an absolute mind-blowing turn of events here for Uriel voters. I don't know how to explain this. Obviously, we know what happened, but but we don't know what
biggest
happened.
upset of the entire voting
it'll be curious to see the community breakdown
right
of this,
here,
and see what some Uriel voters have to say about how this worked out. But yeah, just these small numbers here or there works out in a very, very bizarre way.
Yeah, at this point, those 630 votes would have been an instant win for either Vili or Progot. So at this point and at this time of the CSM elections,
so I think it's actually going to lower the quota enough that Vili gets
it's
in.
It's not really a small number. It can really make a difference.
Yeah, those are going to be pivotal votes.
Yeah, 3281. Okay, so Vili's so
Mark
close.
Resurrectus in round 35 made it almost all the way to the end with 1,700.
Oh, what's Mark going to give it to?
Votes.
This is going to be pretty evenly split, I think.
Now been dashed,
which is going to be really bad for Arcia. Arcia needs at least like 400.
Are going to Vili. Which is actually pretty surprising.
Oh, God. Oh, the suspense. The suspense.
If I recall correctly, a bunch of those actually went to
Arcia 332, not enough? Unless Mike gets like nothing?
332 votes from Mark Resurrectus.
Oh,
over
God.
Nice
oh, man.
He goes in and ransacks the votes.
Boo.
It's 430 votes.
I mean, that's really great. Hopefully Mike gets in front of Pro God.
You sly fox you.
Oh, wait. No, that's going to be it.
And
Arcia's out.
36th round,
which means the remaining 3 are filled.
What it means is that Vili is getting re-elected for his third term on the CSM 16. Vili, congratulations, mate. Happy to see you back. But let's see what is happening with the rest. So we got 3 candidates left that are fighting for the last 2 slots.
Oh, well, I guess Vili's runoff votes, but there's not a lot of them. Like, that's not going to be enough to swing anything.
Votes. We got Mike Azaraya, 2,591 votes, and then Arcia with 2,241 votes.
What an impressive showing from Arcia.
Goodbye, Arcia.
Throughout this election, the votes that she was getting.
Not a single RP candidate on our CSM.
So, you know, it's very sad to see her go. I wish we could take,
what a failure of a day.
More slots. I wish the CSM was filled with 46 slots so we could take everyone.
Boo.
But, you know, props where props is due. Arcia, she hung around until the very, very, very end here. You know, I'm sure this is not the last we'll see of Arcia by any means.
God.
But sadly,
that means not a single one.
And by virtue
of our
just how the CSM, we run out of candidates. There's none left to eliminate after Arcia. So by virtue of that, Pro God Legend and Mike Azaraya round out the
don't get me wrong.
2 slots.
Actually, do get me wrong. Sultonia is the only member of the CSM.
So, guys,
that should be there.
You have it. The CSM 16.
Oh, God, what an absolute
everyone's
failure.
Surprise.
Everything's gone haywire.
Remarkable human beings. Very
I do like Kenneth
stuff,
on there and iBeast.
It's just really mind-boggling.
Oh my God!
In such a deep dive and breakdown.
And Mike's great too.
Votes that count. What did we had at the last time? Was it 300 votes difference that really make it for getting?
So let's see. Let's try and order these.
Eliminated from the CSM. So in the grand scheme of things,
we
and especially now after you saw how those votes kind of move around and how they get distributed, it's not really that much. It's not
3,
so
4,
impossible to really get the support that you need to get on the council.
5.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see,
6,
especially the last couple rounds there, it's important not only the votes because your vote is pretty much always heard,
10,
but when you're filling out your ballots,
then
make sure to fill
9,
out
9.
You don't have to go like hard in the paint.
No black CSM 16.
5 or 6 or 7.
Someone grab me a stiff drink because I need it
anymore. But if I could, I would fill out all 10 because I'm a huge CSM nerd. And I absolutely love the institution. But you can see,
the top 4 are okay.
A handful of people adding people.
Gory Xander, 07 to you, asking if you missed Metch. Only basically
obviously
the entire reveal process.
Quite early in round 1.
But you're fine.
But
You're
the rest
fine.
of the
Don't worry.
slots really were.
Also, everyone go check out Gory Xander, the premier New Bro Abyssal streamer.
So congratulations.
Also does other fun low sex stuff.
Mergelchen
or high sex stuff, faction warfare stuff.
On the CSM before, same with Gobbins. Innominate, a long-time CSN member. I think he's been on the CSM since CSM 12. A Brisk Rubal is a bit of an old-timer too, though he had a break in the middle. Kenneth Feld, this is going to be his second consecutive year. So he was on 15 and now he's on 16. As we mentioned before, iBeast, his first time running on the CSM and his first time on the CSM.
High sec faction warfare, okay.
Makes it look so easy, rather. Sutonia comes back. Welcome back, Sutonia.
Thanks, Gory. That's right. Inta's a way better streamer.
13.
So make sure that you do stay here.
But I'm sure he'll hit
also, if you are here, type !scope. Even though our two star candidates didn't get in, we will still be giving away a Scope Syndication skin at the end of the stream, as long as we have over 80 concurrent viewership.
That was really, really fun.
All you gotta do is !scope and lurk, hang out,
CSM, I believe 8
try and make that happen. Be part of the community. Good stuff.
And Mike Azariah, that's Life Fox. Mike, the bus driver, he's still in.
Thank you for subscribing, you absolute legend.
Jambalaya coming in with the sub. Gift sub to Gory. Thank you so much for that, Jambalaya. That actually makes our daily sub goal completed. So we will be doing a marbles race after this for the 50 millionist and a roll on the skin wheel, which does contain glorious prizes such as Galnet skins, Scope skins, Nest skins, and a variety of event skins.
Decided to participate and cast the vote in the elections.
That's right, Gory
really
thanking himself in the gift.
An increasing engagement and the participation in the elections time and time again over the years, as that only proves the value of the institution. And we love working with the CSM, and we'll definitely continue our fruitful collaboration as we continue just having fun with a bit of spaceships there. But guys, there you have it. Thank you very much for sticking with us and watching the show. I hope you've been as entertained as we've been trying to make it. High five to CCP Swift for really putting all the hard work preparing this. I'm just a talking head. But I hope you enjoyed it. What's going to happen right now, we will obviously be reaching out to all of the CSM members, sending all the relevant information that you guys
need. So that about concludes this little shebang.
CSM 16
I'll be posting this up on YouTube. If you've missed any of it, make sure you go check that out. And we're going to be getting into kind of our more regularly scheduled exploration content, at least for a little while here.
And onboarded into
so get ready for that.
So while you can already start pestering them with all of your questions.
Gory didn't vote for any of these people. Feels bad. Yeah, we didn't either. Don't worry, Gory, we didn't either.
Back to us. Please.
Not a single one of my 1 to 10 votes got in. I do like that Sutonia, iBeast, and Kenneth did get in. I didn't put them on my ballot because I didn't think I needed to.
But CSM 16 is really looking to be an interesting year. I'm really happy to see this type of the election, and obviously as important as the CSM is, it is one of the sources of feedback that we use. So while it is sad to see that none of the wormhole candidates or lore candidates or Triglavian candidates or Loso candidates didn't get it this time around, our doors and lines of communications are always open. So guys, please
again, dopamine just like, well, I guess it sucks that we didn't get anything besides no block candidates in.
Going on. We'd love to hear from you, and we will absolutely be trying to explore different ways to really help out and facilitate those
2 Horde, 2 Test, 2 Goons, Volta, Scope. Nothing to see here. Move along. Exactly, Trouble Trade. Exactly.
This is, after all, a collaboration that we do want to foster together.
Naughty Von Dutch.
Really
07 to you. Welcome to the channel. Everyone go check out Naughty.
Another decade of explosions, awesomeness, intrigue, and fun.
incredibly well said to be dopamine. I literally can't add anything to it. But yeah, thank you everyone.
Yeah, dopamine did do a good recap.
This process. I hope it was insightful for you to kind of understand how STV works. And I really, really hope that next year when CSM voting comes around, you can use this knowledge to your advantage and go out and vote for even more candidates. Obviously, you can only your vote still only counts as once, but as you can see, how your vote works now, you might be a little bit more interested in voting. But yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Very excited here, and we'll see.